The dismantling of the ATF has been greatly exaggerated. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Buckle up, Wolverines. This is a follow-up story to a story that I put out Sunday. It looks like you and I might have been deceived by CNN. Go figure. But before we jump into the story, my name is John Crump and I report on 2A News on this channel, John Crump News. I wouldn't be able to do that without the support of you by subscribing to the channel, and there's also support links down below in the description. Also, without the support of great companies like XTech Tactical, I couldn't make videos like this and keep you updated on the latest comings and goings in gun news. So if you want to save some money and buy a great magazine or accessory, head over to XTech Tactical and use code CRUMP and you can get 10% off your order. Now let's jump back into the story. Late on Saturday, CNN released a report stating that 1,000 ATF agents from the enforcement branch of the Bureau were going to be reassigned to the FBI to work on border issues. The ATF has a total of 3,000 agents, so 1,000 agents is 1/3 the size of the force. If this was true, it would mean the ATF would be severely handicapped. And in my opinion, that would be great. Unfortunately, according to FBI Director and Acting ATF Director Kash Patel, it's not true. Patel released a statement Monday morning saying that the report by CNN is completely false. This is an issue when using anonymous sources. The data stream could always be poisoned. The way I would do it, and the way I do it, is I use 3 verified unrelated sources. Let's break that down a bit. I need to know that the sources are legit. I always protect my sources, but I need to make sure they are who they say they are. I'm not going to go into exactly how I do that because that would tip my hand, but I do have my methods. Also, the sources may not be connected. If Agent 1 gives me information and then she or he introduces me to Agent 2 and they give me the same information, that only counts as one source. I need people giving me the information at the same time without knowing that they are both giving me the goods. After I get 2, I need a 3rd unrelated sources. At that time, the chances of the information being false is low, but it's still not 0% low. And I still can't jump on the story and get it out. I need more information. What I'm getting at is I need documentation. If I don't have documentation, I cannot run it. Sometimes I will hold stuff until it becomes public so I can get the official documentation and then I can fill in the backstory. But without hard proof, I cannot run with it. I have sat on pretty big stories in the past that turned out to be 100% true because I couldn't verify it with documentation. Even when you have all the documentation, you can still be tricked. There is honeypots put out there to trick people, fake documents, and fake leaks. Sometimes the sources themselves are tricked. The best way to eliminate a threat is to kill the credibility of the person spreading the information. Now, once the story breaks, we are free to talk about it, and that is what happened with the CNN story. I don't know how CNN verified their story or who their sources were, but apparently, if Kash Patel is to be believed, they got played. You can call them fake news, and they are fake news, but it's almost impossible to be right 100% of the time. It might seem like I'm defending CNN here, but I'm not. In a vacuum, I could say this is probably just a one-off and CNN got played like all of us get played from time to time. But over the years, CNN have become less reliable. From the Covington kids to Joe Rogan taking horse dewormer, they have just been wrong more than other media sources.
Well, if it isn't old horseworm Rogan. I'm glad you're well, man.
Bro, do I have to sue CNN?
I don't know, do you?
They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use in human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
The question is, why have they been so wrong so much since Donald Trump's first term? What we could be seeing is politics and bias creeping into the realm of the newsroom. When you believe something so strongly, you look to anything that backs up those beliefs. It makes you overlook telltale signs of falsehoods. The objectivity of the newsroom goes out the window. CNN, along with other groups and other news organizations, have this thought that Kash Patel is a puppet of the gun industry. So when the story came out that he was gutting the ATF, of course they were going to run with it because that is what groups like Everytown and Brady have been telling them would happen. It is a perfect story to prove these groups right. Don't get me wrong, I wish it was right, but it looks like it's not right, and I believe Kash Patel when he says it's not. I have a sneaking suspicion that one of these anti-freedom groups is the ones that actually came up with the stories. They fed the story to the anti-gun side, just like we get fed stories from the pro-gun side. But no matter what the source is, it's your job as a reporter to verify those claims that those groups are bringing to you. That is where we need to go. No matter if you're pro-gun or anti-gun, if someone brings you a story, you need to verify it 100%. But there's another story. It could just be a lazy reporter. The most time-consuming part of reporting a story isn't the writing, and trust me, I know, I'm a professional writer. The most time-consuming and most difficult part of any story is the research. So when a group comes to you and pitches a story with everything laid out on the table, all the research, everything done, you don't need to spend the hours and hours and hours researching. You just need to spend an hour or two to put it in written form. And that's where a lot of people run into issues because some of that stuff is not right and some of it is totally fictional. Most of the time when a story is blown, this is what happens. Writers are on deadlines and there's a rush to be first. This could mean getting paid or not getting paid. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but it definitely could be. Okay, let's break this down one more time. According to CNN, the ATF is cutting 1/3 of their agents. Out of the 3,000 agents, 1,000 is being reassigned to the FBI to do border operations. The acting director, Kash Patel, is stating that that is fake news. We aren't sure where the information came from, but it is most likely false. We don't know where the mix-up happened, and CNN hasn't responded to requests for comments. That's about it. Make your own mind up, and remember to hit that like button because it really does help out the channel, and we are out of here. See you, Wolverines.